I don't give a F if you got a black business. I'm not supporting it just because your business is owned by a black person. I'm not supporting it. That's what that's what he said. That's what this guy right here said. And I'm not gonna lie, I am a fan of Wallow. I am a supporter. I've been watching his videos for a long time. So when I seen this and this statement, at first I was like, what did he say wrong? But after listening to other people's point of view, I changed my mind. I did change my mind because there's a problem with what he said. There's a big problem with what he said. And at the same time, not even knowing, of course, not knowing that he was going to say something like this, I started reading this book right here, The Black Dollar Matters by James Klingman. Say right there, James Klingman. His book was written 12, 13, over a decade ago, but it's still relevant right now because it talks about the power of the black dollar, how we should support our own, how it's important that blacks support their own in business and in politics. This book was written around the same time that Obama was first elected. And we and we thought by him being black, he was going to take care of all our problems. Well, we see how that worked out. It didn't work. And that's not how you're supposed to think about politics. But it's really making it, he really makes it evident, and he really makes it poignant and important for us to support our own businesses. It's not important how much money we spend. It's important where we spend it and who we spend it with. I know you heard this before, that the black dollar only circulates in our community for hours, but in other communities, their dollars circulate for weeks, even months, or even 30 days. We have to understand how important and how powerful the black dollar is. So if I wanted to talk about this book in the beginning of the podcast. So if you're listening, it's called The Black Dollar Matters by James Klingman. Check it out. I just started reading it, but man, it's a really good book, even though it was written years ago. But this podcast is about the video and other videos that kind of bandwagoned on to what he's said. First, let's get into the initial video, Wallow's video. That's a snippet of his motivational speech. That's one thing you got to understand. This is just a snippet of his speech, but people took this and ran with it, and I get, for good reason. For good reason. Check it out.
Us. Oh, I'm black. Oh, black people. Nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material of your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them where the fuck I want to spend it at. Whether it's Porsche, Ferrari, Land, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the number one nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I make millions and I make millionaires, baby. You understand me? I come from the ghetto.
That's the video. That's it. That's what a lot of people got upset about. That's what a lot of people, and let's just keep it real. Let's just people. If it triggered you or if it made you upset, it's the language, it's the tone, it's him on stage feeling himself. Okay, that's what triggered you. Don't say it didn't. It did. Him saying that he's the number one. the number one in America, and he makes millions and stuff like that. That triggered a lot of people. And him saying that he's not going to support black business just because it's black, and that nobody cares that your business is black. Now I heard I that's what I said when I first listened to it. I was like, what did he say was wrong? I even sent it to a couple friends of mine that I respect their opinion. They were saying, what did he say? Is he wrong? But after listening to other people, I checked out, Boyd Swatkins did a good podcast about it, and he did a really good podcast about it. And the one of the points that Boyd Swatkins made is that nobody's going to support a business that doesn't give you good service. So basically, what's understood doesn't need to be said. So why are you saying it? Why are you saying it, black man? Why are you saying this about something that we already know, knowing that we don't support our businesses and other races don't support our businesses the way we support theirs? So why are you saying this? I'm talking about this on the Raise Carter podcast because it's a podcast for fatherhood, coaching, and parenting. But the one thing about parenting is, if you want to fix something, you don't do further damage to it. You repair it. So saying what he said isn't repairing it. His whole little minute long speech, how is it repairing the problem that it is? That's like taking your car to a mechanic and you be like, yo, man, can you fix it? And he like, man, this car is effed up, man. This is effed, man. Look at this shit. Look, man, this car is, man, look, man, this is the worst car ever. What did you do to it? But can you fix it, man? I just want to know, can you? No, man, I'm telling you, man, you fucked this car up, man. Would that be the mechanic you want to go to? No. If you want to fix something, you need to start repairing it. You want to go to the mechanic and be like, yeah, it's a lot of damage to it, but I think I can fix it, get back running to where, it's a good car where it takes care of you. I think I can get it back running back to normal. I'm gonna get to work on it. That's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear the first guy who just spends 15, 20 minutes telling you how effed up the car is and how bad it is and how it's a piece of junk and he don't want to work. Like, come on, that's not what you do. But that's what he was doing in that video. He told 70% of y'all ain't gonna make it and all this. I understand. I can understand. You got the crowd that's there, and you feeling yourself, and you feel like you have to present something in a certain type of way because of the audience that's there. And so you say stuff like that. But when we speak, a lot of times I might pause when I speak, and I got this from a great speaker, somebody that I look up to as, just as a speaker and as a man, Dr. Wesley Muhammad. He says, like, when he's speaking, you might hear people say, oh, you speak too slow, but he's thinking about what he's going to say next. Because what he says, he means every word of it. He doesn't have to go back and backtrack like Wallow's going to have to explain why he said what he said. No, I said it because of this. So a lot of times when you're listening to a Dr. Wesley speak, yeah, you might think it's moving slowly or if he's answering a question, he thinks about what he's going to say before he says it. And I think a lot of us, when we get in front of this microphone, or we get on stage, we don't do that. We don't think about what we're saying before we say it. And it happens to everybody. But I heard somebody says, I heard Allen Houston, the old Knicks shooting guard, he said this. He was like, a lot of people, some people, just because somebody's good at one thing, that don't mean they're good at everything. And that's the truth. We got to stop elevating these celebrities or influencers or podcasters to elite status. That we worship everything they say because they're human too. They're human too, and they can make mistakes. So when you speaking, like the old saying goes, you want to measure twice and cut once. You want to think about when you're saying something that important, something that meaningful. You can't just go off feelings. You can't go, because when you do that, you open up the door for them to put you in the same category as people like this.
Fuck black businesses. Anytime I see a place that says this is a black-owned business, I know it's gonna be a fucking failure. These places only run off the fact that they're a black business. But they fucking suck. The food ain't out on time. The fucking workers are angry. They have an attitude. You niggas are closing at 7 when it says you close at 8. You have all these fucking problems. Why am I gonna support you because you're black? Is your business good? Are you providing a good service? I don't give a fuck how black you are. Fuck that shit. This is the problem with black people. We want to support everything black. If it's black, we gotta support it. Shut the fuck. Everybody else do it. No, they don't. No, they don't. We're the only ones that do this ridiculous ass shit, and it fucking fails every time. Okay, let's support my black business. I got barbecue ribs. Guess what? And the shit's terrible. Nobody wants to eat here because you don't fucking do anything on time, and everything is shit. So guess what? Black businesses, fuck them. I don't give a fuck if they're black business. If it's someone who's working there and owns it and they're black and they're doing well, great. But this whole I'm black business, you got to support, fuck that and fuck them.
Yeah. So you get videos like that, whether that's a skit or that's, he's trying to be funny, which I hope it's not funny at all. But then you open your door to be associated with someone like that. And I know that's not what Wallow's about. But you open up the door to be associated with guys like that. What's so different than what he said than what Wallow said? What's so different? For the person who wants to think that way, nothing's different. He said exactly the same thing. And that's what I would want him to realize and to understand. If you want to fix something, you have to start to repair it, not tearing it down even more or saying things that we already know. Nobody's going to support a business that isn't doing good business. And another thing that I picked up when I was listening to Boyce Watkins' podcast, he said that just because you don't have to support somebody with your money, you could give them a honest review and tell them, hey, I'm not gonna be back because the service was bad or the food. You can work on improving this if you want to get more customers or to stay or to even stay in business. But as of now, I'm not going to come back because of this, and hopefully that owner or, that person, that owner of the business will take that constructive criticism and do the right thing with it, but you don't just have to support somebody just with money. But I do want to say this in Wallow's defense. It is true that a lot of times people try to finesse, and I know him being where he's at as far as a businessman, people do try to finesse you because, oh man, hire me because I'm black, put me on. You're on, put me on. Oh, you can work with all those white, work with me. And I'm sure he gets tired of hearing that. And I do believe that they said when they were trying to get their podcast, when they were thinking about when their podcast really started blowing up, they did try to work with other distribution and things like that, and those deals fell through with other black people. So we can't just be so sensitive in what he's saying, because it is true. It is true that a lot of times we try to take advantage of each other just because of us being black. But let's stop acting like we haven't received bad service from other races. Like this guy in this second video just made it seem like every black business is bad. And no, man, you went to restaurants where other races ran them, and places where other races were the owners, and you got bad service. So it's not just black people. It's not just black people. But like this book says, the black dollar matters. It matters. Where you spend your money, it matters, because if we want to have black businesses, we have to be the people who support them. We have to be the people that support them, and we have to be more empathetic to and understand that it wasn't too long ago where we weren't even allowed to read. We weren't even allowed to vote. So being the best at running businesses and all these things, how is that possible? We are behind. And we're going to continue to be behind as long as we don't support each other. And for all the people that's piling on about Wallow, saying, things about him, that's not cool, man, because this is the guy this is who he really is. Off stage, in that. This is the reason why I support this guy.
Trying to save a man from like jumping off of a bridge. Like,
Yeah.
What exactly happened? Like,
What happened was I was driving. I just came from the airport.
Hey Wallow, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'm good. I wanted to say, there was a viral video of you kind of trying to save a man from like jumping off of a bridge. Like,
Yeah.
What exactly happened? Like,
What happened was I was driving. I just came from the airport, Philadelphia, and in the process of me driving, I seen a brother right there. Two police officers was there. I wasn't sure what was going on. I just jumped out to see what was going on. The process of me jumping out, he was ready to jump. He was going through a lot of depression, a lot of family issue. Lost his mother, his niece, a lot. Just crashed, totaled the car, and it was more of the like. He just was like just a lot of depression. He was focusing on, he was just a lot, and I got a chance to get up close on him. Called some of his family members, got him on the FaceTime, and we was able to help him come down. So it was like that was a blessing. Just that he was going through a lot,
I know, but it must have been hard for you at that moment to kind of like jump out and help. Like most people would have just let the police handle it, and you kind of just
Yeah, no, I
stepped
seen
in.
him. It seemed like they didn't know how to, I ain't saying they didn't know what they was doing. It's just that I think sometimes when you got the complexion for the connection and you see your people in the community, they feel more, like it's some support there. So I just think that was the case,
I know. I thought it was like a beautiful. Did you get his contact? And
No, I wasn't there. His family came and I just, they took over. They thanked me, and I talked to his family afterwards. They called me because they didn't have my number from me calling them, but that was it.
Oh my gosh, no, I saw it. I thought it was the most beautiful thing. I was like, I had to ask you about that. It's pretty tough. What advice would you give to people in those situations?
Like a lot of times, I think during the time in the country, a lot of people going through difficult things. I think it's find somebody to talk to. I see if you need any, mental health is real in America. I think finding people to talk to and getting the right help, I think that's the best thing you can do.
That's who he is. That's who he is. So all the people saying the things that they saying about him and trying to say that this is who, that was a 1 minute thing out of his speech. But would you have done that? Would you have done that? Would you have stopped your car in the middle of the freeway, pulled over, and try to help this guy from jumping, calling his family, doing all that? Would you have? So when you quick to judge somebody and try to trash somebody and say that he say things about somebody, for everybody who says voice walk all the way down, this is also the guy who did this. who no cameras were around, who didn't have his camera crew around and showing. No, he jumped out and did this because that's the type of person he is. So I wanted to add that to this podcast too, so you can understand that we all make mistakes. We all say things that sometimes we could have said better. And but you can't judge you can't judge somebody by a 60-second clip. That's who he really is. What you do when people aren't looking is who you are. That's who you really are. When you're not on stage and you saying stuff, when you do something when nobody's watching, that's who you are. So that's this episode of the Raising Carter podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, check out this video right here. And I'm out of here. Peace.